Hey guys, here we are again at Quavadas Marshall Studios. No, really, it's just my dining room, but I figured it's a great place to send you these brief updates on what God's doing with our family and with the ministry and your participation in sending the gospel to the ends of the earth. And so I want to thank you for sowing into the prayer and worship movement. And as many of you know, we're here at the International House of Prayer in Kansas City. We're night and day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Prayers and worship with fasting has been going on right here in the heartland, and from the heartland it's been touching the ends of the earth. Well, Isaiah 42 says that before the Lord returns, that the Lord said he'd do a new thing and that he let the peoples of the earth know it. Guess how? Through singing. So we're watching the Lord release the new song that the nations and the villages across the nations of the earth are hearing the good news being sung, and they're hearing the gospel message being proclaimed with signs and wonders and miracles. And honestly, that's really got my heart stirred at this current season of where we're at as a family, just in ministry. We've been given the opportunity over this last summer, over this past summer, to spend a lot of time with a Youth with a Mission. It's the largest missions organization in the United States with over 35,000 missionaries worldwide. Its founder, Lauren Cunningham, started it back in the 70s with a radical idea that young people would give themselves to the gospel of Jesus Christ and going to the ends of the earth, that his name would be proclaimed and that his son, the Father's Son, will receive the glory that's due him. Well, I've had the chance to spend a lot of time at what they call their DTSs, or their discipleship training schools. It's 3 months of intense training and then 3 months of being sent out into the missions field. And so I've been at the schools and speaking to these young people, and some are older, but I've had the chance to talk to them about prayer and worship and the message of intimacy, and that they're loved and delighted in by God, and that is the primary motivation for our work of service, that lovers will always outwork workers. Well, I've got great news. Me and Angela have been invited to go to Kona, Hawaii this October for an 8-day ministry trip. I know Kona, vacation ministry, no, but we're going to go there to work. Well, I got to give you a little bit of a backdrop, is that I had a dream in which one of the key leaders here, a man by the name of Wes Martin, he's over our pastoral ministry here at Kansas City, here in Kansas City at IHOP, at the Forerunner Christian Fellowship. And in the dream, he says, I know what you ought to teach at the universities. And in the dream, I said, tell me, Wes, what is it? And he said, the Song of Songs. And as many of you know, the Song of Songs, it's a story of Solomon and Shulamite, but it's also an allegory between God and his church, about the bride and the bridegroom. And so he says, you got to teach the message of intimacy to the university. So I wake up about a week later, a friend of mine says, hey, I want to put your name in to teach at the YWAMs across the nations of the earth. And so it seems the nations are opening up for us to go and to share the gospel. And I have a friend of mine named Ben Noah. He's over the Asian Pacific region for the Youth with a Mission. If you want to go to Asia, if you want to go to the islands to preach the gospel, you've got to go to his school. Well, Ben says to me, hey, would you come to Kona and teach on the message of intimacy? And if you look it up, the headquarters in YWAM, it's called the University of the Nations. So it looks like I'm going to the University of the Nations to preach the gospel with my wife. And so I want to thank you for sowing into us, believing in us. Know that the gospel is going forth in power because of you. God bless you.